Hare Krishna, good morning and welcome all of you all for our Sunday morning Bhagavad Gita class. So we are in the midst of the third chapter and in the last end phase. We already covered 3.42. So just we'll take a fast recap, and today we'll try to understand how this Kama, Krodha and all this have been not only mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita but in the Ramayana given by Kagabhushan to Garudaji. So we'll understand that also in detail. So let's go do a fast recap. So Lord says in 3.37, Kamesh, Krodhesh, Rajaguna, Samudbhava. This is in answer to the question asked by Arjuna. Why is someone impelled to do something wrong or a bad deed as if by force? So for that Krishna gives this answer कि भाई काम और क्रोध ये दोनों रजगुण के प्रभाव में आने से व्यक्ति क्या करता है, सब गलत कार्य करने के लिए प्रेरित हो जाता है. He is coaxed to do all this work. That is why he is saying कामेश क्रोधेश रजगुण समुद्भव महाअश्नो. It eats you, खा जाता है आपको. महापाप महा, आपसे सारे पाप कर्म करवाता है. हर कोई पापी जानता है कि मैं जो पाप कर्म कर रहा हूं वो गलत है, बट फिर भी करता है. Knowingly that what he is doing is a wrong act. So after that he talks about the places where this stand. Then he describes about how it is this pap, how this lust is covered, and we are covered by layers and layers of lust, and that is inside the womb of the mother. When the child is there, the child is not seen, it is covered by one layer of covering. Similarly, dust covered on the mirror, these are all, or smoke covering the fire. These are the three examples which Lord is giving in the Gita. Then he talks about Indriyani Mano Buddhi Esha Adhishtanam Uchyate. He says Indriya, Mano और बुद्धि, मन और बुद्धि, ये तीन जगह पे जाके ये दुश्मन बैठा है. ये कितना खतरनाक दुश्मन है ये आज आपको पता चलेगा कि हाउ दीज थिंग्स कैन टोटली सब बीमारियों का इलाज है, मगर इस बीमारी का इलाज ना के बराबर है. It's so deadly. So we will understand that. So first, instead of going, then what was the last 42? क्या था बात किया? The degrees. Okay. The gross matter, that is the body, is much. The senses are much lower compared to the Mind is more stronger than the intelligence. Intelligence से भी stronger क्या है? Soul. So soul is most powerful, but we are slave to the most least powerful thing का हम गुलाम हैं, और वो क्या है? इंद्रियों का गुलाम. Senses being much lower compared to the soul, we had drawn that chart and I had shown you. फिर भी the lowest होने के बावजूद ये हाल है. So there is a small incident in Ramcharitmanas, the Uttarakhand. Basically Ramcharitmanas is basically conversation between either Yajnavalkya and Singh, or between Parvati and Shivji and Parvati, or between Kagabhushan and Garudaji. Basically इस पे इर्द गिर्द से पूरा रामचरितमानस घूमता है. तो वहाँ पे क्या होता है कि ये when the war happens between Ravana and Singh, Ram and Lakshman both get injured. और किससे इंजर हो जाते हैं? नाग अस्त्र यूज़ होता है उनके ऊपर. तो जब नाग अस्त्र आता है तो लोग एक डुब गिर जाते हैं एज अ कॉमन ह्यूमन बींग्स. एंड माँ रावण और ये बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं, मेघनाथ एंड रावण, अरे क्या इससे एक अस्त्र में डाउन. इनफैक्ट तभी जाके वो सीता को जाके वो स्टोरी सब बताता है कि देखो आई बॉट द हेड, जाके दिखा दो, लोग गिरे पड़े हैं. ही टेल्स गोज एंड टेल्स सीता आई ऑलरेडी किल्ड. राम एंड लक्ष्मण बोथ आर किल्ड. So of course then it's a different story that she sits in the Pushpa Viman and she goes and sees, she falls unconscious. Then Trijata tells her, no, this Pushpak Viman will not carry any widow. He does. I mean, if you go in the depth of it, there is so much of rahasya in that. कि फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट डोंट वरी, योर हस्बैंड हैज नॉट डाइड बिकॉज दिस पुष्पक विमान हैज बीन मेड इन सच अ वे दैट इट विल नॉट कैरी एनी विडो, सो डोंट वरी. सो दैट इज, मतलब रावण कई बार अपना बेवकूफ़ी बताता है, कई बार अपना बेवकूफ़ी बताता है. एन नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स ही शोज अस. Okay, just tell me when it is 12:15, okay? Otherwise I have to plan the timing also. So when the Nagpash is done, अभी उसका इलाज क्या है? How will we save रामचंद्र जी and लक्ष्मण जी? तो एक ही तरीका रहता है, गरुड़ जी is called. Because गरुड़ जी eat snakes, उनका भोजन है, तो गरुड़ जी को बुलाया गया, तो गरुड़ जी आते हैं and he kills all the snakes, eats away all the snakes, and Ramchandra ji and Lakshman revive. But गरुड़ जी को यहाँ पे एक डाउट आ जाता है, संदेह आ जाता है, ये कैसा भगवान है, ये कैसा भगवान है जिसको मेरी मदद लगी. See, that's how we all get pride. We all get pride. ये कैसे भगवान है जिनको मेरी जरूरत पड़ी. I doubt whether he is God himself. So whom do I go and ask? So he goes and asks Narad Muni. So Narad Muni plays safe. So say, I am not the right person to ask. You go and ask someone better. Go and ask my father, ब्रह्मा जी. चार मुख वाले हैं, बता दें. मैं तो क्या इधर उधर घूमते रहता हूँ, नारायण नारायण करते रहता हूँ. So I don't have that much of knowledge. See, he says, oh, see, even Narad Muni could not answer my question. That means my doubt is more strong and firm. Goes ahead to ब्रह्मा जी. ब्रह्मा जी, आप बताइए, ये ऐसा ऐसा क्या हो गया है, मुझे आके बचाना पड़ा. See, क्या है ना, you have to understand that I am not that qualified to answer your question. क्या है कि I am having 4 heads, 4 mouth. With the 4 mouth, I give the 4 Vedas. So, I don't have the 5th mouth to give an answer. And this question of yours is very important. So, you better go and ask Shivji. Okay, fine. He goes to meet Shivji. But मनी मन, कई रोगी लोग रहते हैं ना, सम बीमार लोग रहते हैं, उनको अपने बीमारी पे भी बहुत घमंड रहता है. जैसे कि कोई आके आपके बोले, अरे मेरा बीमारी कोई साधारण बीमारी नहीं है, कम से कम 4 डॉक्टर को दिखाया, कोई मेरा बीमारी पकड़ ही नहीं पाया. अरे काय का, व्हाट सो प्राउड अबाउट इट, यू आर सिक, बट व्हाट इज द क्लेम इज, मेरा बीमारी कोई पकड़ ही नहीं पाया. फिर 5वें ने बहुत मुश्किल से मेरा बीमारी पकड़ा. सो आई मीन ही इज सो प्राउड. आई मीन पीपल डोंट फाइंड रीजन टू बी प्राउड फॉर एनीथिंग. कोई भी चीज़ के लिए घमंड करने के लिए तैयार रहते हैं. तो इमीडिएटली इवेंट टू शिवजी. शिवजी के लिए जाने के लिए निकले, आधे रास्ते पे मिल गए शिवजी ऑन द वे. तो शिवजी बोले, देखो अब दिस इज नॉट द राइट प्लेस टू डिस्कस योर आंसर. either it should be in your place or it should be in my place. मैं तो मेरे घर से निकल चुका हूँ, तो I cannot go back, and neither can you. You don't have a residence only. Narad ji doesn't have a residence only. तुम तो घूमते रहते हो. हाँ, गरुड़ जी always is flying, servicing for Vishnu. So rather I would advise you go and take the answer for this question, because already Narad Muni has sent you back, apna Brahma ji has sent you out, and even I am not qualified to answer your question. Garud was like, I am at the top of the world, nobody can answer my question. You go to Mount Kailash, वहाँ पे कागभूषणी जी हैं. You go and meet कागभूषणी, he will give you this advice. So immediately Parvati asked, why you didn't give the answer to him right now? You are the person हमेशा राम नाम जपते रहते हो. शिव जी तो हमेशा राम नाम जपते रहते हैं. एक्चुअली शिवलिंग पे अगर आप बेल पत्र के ऊपर श्री राम लिख के आप चढ़ाओगे ना, यू गेट द मैक्सिमम फला. नॉट फला ऑफ बेटा दे दे बच्ची दे दे, वो नहीं, बट अगर आपको आध्यात्मिक फल चाहिए तो यू शुड राइट श्री राम ऑन बेलपत्र एंड पुट इट ऑन द शिवलिंग, तो आपको सबसे ज़्यादा फल मिलता है. तो ही आस्क, यू शुड हैव आंसर्ड. नो नो नो. क्या है ना, जब आदमी को ऊंचे आदमी से जब जवाब मिलता है ना, ही इज लाइक ठीक है तुम बोलते हैं इसके लिए मैं मान रहा हूँ. When something, crow is supposed to be the lowest among birds. कौवा मतलब गाली भी देते ना कौवे की तरह काँव काँव कर रहा है. सो इट्स लाइक द लोएस्ट अमंग बर्ड्स. उससे जब ज्ञान लोगे, जब वो ज्ञान लेगा ना, कुछ तो उसके दिमाग में जाएगा. सो देन ही गोज टू काकभूषण जी. बट द मिनट ही एंटर्स ओवर देयर, हिज एंटायर इल्यूजन इज वाइप्ड ऑफ. He doesn't ask this question to Kakabhushan ji. This question for which he had left mission for asking various people the question, when he went into Kakabhushan ji's ashram, or so to say his hermitage, the minute he entered there, he immediately felt my question is answered. But there is always an etiquette. बहुत अच्छा वर्णन है, but he humbly goes and falls at his feet and he tells, please answer me few of my doubts. I have come to clear my doubts. But this time his doubts is not what he was questioning, whether Ramchandra ji is God and all that. अब उनके मन में doubt हुआ. What are the doubts? He asked for 7 questions. But ये 7 प्रश्न सिर्फ का अपना गरुड़ जी के लिए नहीं, ये हम सबके लिए रामचरितमानस में तुलसीदास जी ने लिखा है. So please let's understand. Mataji, please write these questions on the board. First we will write the questions and then we will write the answers. Pen. Out of all the forms, which is the highest form to be obtained? The first question he asks. Out of all the forms, which is the best form to be obtained, or the highest form to be obtained? Forms, which is the highest form to be obtained? What is the highest form of pain? कष्ट. सबसे बड़ा कष्ट कौन सा है, या दर्द कौन सा है? पेन, तकलीफ, कष्ट, जो भी बोलो. अब इंग्लिश में की है पेन या ट्रबल, whatever you call it. Main is pain. It is given as pain. What is the highest form of joy? Third question he asks. What is the highest form of joy? सबसे बड़ा खुशी या आनंद किस में है? सब लोग अपना अपना आंसर रेडी रखना, पूछूंगा आप लोगों को. क्या हर व्यक्ति का कष्ट का स्टाइल अलग है. और फोर्थ क्वेश्चन इज, what is the characteristic difference between good and bad person? अच्छा व्यक्ति और बुरे व्यक्ति का बीच में characteristic difference between between good and bad people. Question 5. Which is the highest punya or merit which can be achieved? सबसे बड़ा पुण्य कार्य कौन सा है जो मनुष्य प्राप्त कर सकता है? पुण्य और मेरिट. इंग्लिश में यू कैन राइट इट एज मेरिट ऑल्सो, और पुण्य. कैन बी अचीव्ड, दैट कैन बी अचीव्ड. What is the greatest form of sin? Sixth question. सबसे बड़ा अगम पाप कौन सा है? And the last but not the least, the most important question for which I have taken this whole class, that is, what is the disease of the mind? Garuda ji asked this to Kagbhushandi ji. What is the disease of the mind? So first 6 questions will not take much time, very easy. 7th question will take time. उनका भी एक पूरा कथा है कि वो पहले वो ब्राह्मण थे, पहले वो ब्राह्मण से भूषणी शर्मा, उनका नाम था भूषणी शर्मा, और तभी वो शिव भक्त थे, विष्णु भक्त नहीं थे। एंड फिर जब शिव जी का प्रणाम करते थे तब जानबूझ के एक व्यक्ति आया, मतलब पंडित आया, उसको नमन किया, मगर उसके साथ उसने तिरस्कार वाला भाव रखा। ही रिजेक्टेड हिम बिकॉज ही वॉज सिंग हरि इज सुप्रीम, and he insulted him, and finally Shivji cursed him to Bhushandi, and then he falls at the feet of Shivji, and then he gets the body of this crow, and that is why he is so Shivji curses him to die 1000 times. 1000 birth, 1000 times you have to take birth and die. That is a shrap. To take birth and death is shrap. Birth means death to high confirm hai. So then he falls at the feet and begs for pardon, and then he tells him that okay, every time your birth and death will not be painful to you. So that's the only discount I can give you. Otherwise birth and death is always painful. So I can give you a discount. वो डिस्काउंट देते हैं, बाद में वो पूरा भक्त बनते हैं. So that itself is a वास्ट चैप्टर है ना. उसमें कहते हैं कि मैं जानबूझ के कई लोग आपको नमस्कार करते हैं, कोई भाव से करते हैं या कोई ऐसे करने के लिए करते हैं. मैंने ऐसे ही किया बोलते हैं. भूषणी शर्मा, व्हेन ही वाज भूषणी शर्मा, ही सेज मैं ब्राह्मण के घर में पैदा हुआ था, बट फिर भी मैं ऐसे ही करता था, पूरा नम्रता से मैंने कभी प्रणाम नहीं किया. और आचार्यगण कहते हैं, तो आई एम डिफरेंट टॉपिक, आई टेक अ सम अदर टाइम. हाँ, आप यहाँ चेयर लेके बैठ जाइए. आप sit for some time. We'll discuss these 5 questions, then we can write the answers for that. Okay, so yes, what is the best form of life for any which is to be obtained? It is said human life. Tadapi arthudum. It is said it is the best. But what is the biggest drawback in this? Adhruvam. It is not long or permanent. It's for a very short time. So it is said, इतने 84 लाख योनि में आने के बाद आपको एक चांस मिलता है human form. Human form means what? It gives you 3 options. Option 1, do your punyas, go to Swarga, enjoy and come back. Mind you, in this there is a detailed explanation. Swarga is different for different people. For example, you may give some needy person some 10 rupees, let's say, and somebody gets an शादी करवाते हैं, बहुत सारे अनाथ लड़कियों का शादी करवाते हैं, वो सब करवाते हैं. दैट इज़ अ वेरी हायर पुण्य. उसका स्वर्ग अलग है. दोनों को आप एक ही प्राइस नहीं दे सकते हो ना. यू कांट गिव द सेम प्राइस और थिंग फॉर बोथ. This is also punya and that is also punya, and still higher punya is, let's say someone does Ashwamedh yagya or some big yagya, Bajpayee yagya. Bajpayee yagya is yagya, उसके लिए उनको पुरखों का नाम वाजपेयी पड़ा. हमारे अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जो थे ना, how does कई लोगों का वाजपेयी नाम है. Some actor or someone is there, उसका नाम भी वाजपेयी है. हाँ, तो what does that word actually come from? वाजपेयी is a yagya. उनको पुरखों ने उस यज्ञ किया रहेगा, इसके लिए उनका नाम वाजपेयी आता है. And it's a very, very, I mean, these are all yagya which we cannot be thinking about also in today's date. It's all elaborate yagyas. So, says you can go to Swarga, come back. Same type, there are varieties of Naraka. हाँ, छोटा क्राइम, पिक पॉकेट रहे तो उसको सिर्फ लॉकअप में 2-4 मार के भेज देंगे. बड़ा क्रिमिनल है तो जेल में जाएगा, उससे बड़ा क्रिमिनल है तो हैंग करेंगे. सो कहने का मतलब, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द आपका क्राइम, योर सिन, यू आर गोइंग टू नरका. सो ह्यूमन लाइफ इज 2 ladders of Swarga, Naraka, and the third ladder is of getting out of the cycle of birth and death. 3 ladder आपको only and only in human form possible है. But the worst thing is, one who loses this human form, Kagbhushan Rishi says, it is like taking a precious gem. It's like someone, I'm very hungry. I'm hungry, or I want to enjoy some sense gratification. I want to drink, I want to smoke, I want to have drugs. And I have got a Kohinoor diamond, like big diamond, which is worth crores. And I need my drugs now at any cost. So what would I do? I'll take it. Someone take it. Give me 1,000 rupees. Give me 500 rupees. It's okay. I want the drug. So is it really a wise way of bartering? It's a foolish way. Giving a diamond just in exchange of some pieces of glass. It is like that. मतलब आप प्रेशियस जेम देके आप कांच के टुकड़े या कांच रिटर्न में ले रहे हो. That bad it is. So that is why it is said human birth should never be wasted. It should be utilized to the fullest. We also utilize it, but we utilize it to the fullest of doing sense gratification. इंद्रिय तृप्ति के लिए हम fullest यूज करते हैं. इतना प्लानिंग चलता है, ये करना है, वो करना है, यहाँ जाना है, वहाँ घूमना है, ये करना है, ये शादी में जाना है, ये कपड़े खरीदना है, ये कर, एवरीथिंग इज प्लानिंग इज देयर. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू डिवोशन, करेंगे ना, व्हाट इज द बिग हरी, आराम से करेंगे. सो दैट इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, आंसर फॉर द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सेकेंड, व्हाट इज हाइएस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ पेन? एंड काकभूषण जी सेज दरिद्रता. Daridrata is the worst pain which can be ever experienced or can be undergone by a person. But here Kagbhushan ji doesn't talk about only Daridrata with respect to money. बोलते हैं Daridrata of wisdom, ज्ञान की दरिद्रता is the most painful thing. होकर उसको न लगाना वो भी गलत है, और न होते हुए उसको पाने की चेष्टा न करना वो भी दर्दनाक है. जैसे कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति है, देख रहा है, अरे ये तो अच्छा भक्ति कर रहा है, वो भक्ति कर रहा है, वेस्ट है, उसका ज़िंदगी वेस्ट है. सुबह सुबह उठ के भगवान का नाम जपता है, तिलक डालता है, मंदिर आता है, क्या है, वेस्ट. देखो हम लोग को देखो, वी आर एन्जॉइंग लाइफ राइट फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टू नाइट. वी नो हाउ टू एन्जॉय लाइफ. सो एक्चुअली वो मनुष्य जो है, भले उसके पास बहुत पैसा है, वो सबसे बड़ा दरिद्र व्यक्ति. बट शंकराचार्य सेज व्हेन ही इज राइटिंग द कनकधारा स्तोत्रम, डज एनीवन नो हाउ द कनकधारा स्तोत्रम वाज रिटन? डज एनीबडी हैव एन आइडिया? इन साउथ इंडिया, आफ्टर डूइंग एकादशी व्रत, नेक्स्ट डे यूजुअली द्वादशी, आंवला खा के they break the fast. Fast is broken by eating avla. So Shankaracharya goes to take madhukari, आम्स मांगने जाते हैं. तो एक लेडी इतनी दरिद्रत होती है, इतनी, मतलब she is so poor, she wants to serve the sadhu but she doesn't have anything to give. She says, I don't have even a piece of amla to give you. Today is Dwadashi, I am not able to give you amla also. That time he sings the Kanakadhara, he composes the Kanakadhara Stotra. कभी भी आप लोग को, मतलब it's comes under karma kand, but still it's better to get money legitimately than to get it illegitimately. So Kanakadhara Stotram was composed by Valmiki ji, I'm sorry, Shankaracharya ji, and you should read that Shankaracharya's Kanakadhara Stotram, and it gives lot of लक्ष्मी जी का मेरिट्स मिलता है. एंड इट सेड लक्ष्मी जी शावर्ड रेन ऑन दैट लेडी आफ्टर ही कंपोज द सिंग. सो दरिद्रता, हाँ, भौतिक दरिद्रता है, दैट इज बैड, बट भौतिक दरिद्रता फर्दर कन्फर्म्स दैट यू डोंट गो टूवर्ड्स डिवोशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट्स से समवन हु इज ऑन अ डे टू डे ब्रेड अर्नर, आज रोटी कमाया, आज कमाया, रोटी खाया, कल वापस कर, मतलब बोलते हैं ना, कहावत है ना, रोज कुआं खोद के पानी पीने वाले लोग होते हैं. दरिद्रता उसकी इतनी बुरी है कि कभी एक दिन चाहते हुए भी दे कांट कम टू द टेम्पल, चाहते हुए भी वो एक बार कथा पे नहीं आ सकते. So this is also daridrata, but worst daridrata it is mentioned here is about one who doesn't have any spiritual knowledge. What is the highest form of joy? Yes, this question has to be answered by you all. Yes, what is the highest form of joy? Yes, Shivdat Prabhu, you are the right person to answer today. What is the highest form of joy which you are going to experience next week? Then so क्या, अच्छा आपके उम्र के लिए क्या है? डिफाइन योर जॉय. हाँ बोलिए, डिफाइन योर जॉय. बाकी एज का छोड़ दीजिए, आप आपका बोलिए. हो सकता है मतलब क्या है? He still doesn't know. My God. Yes, Pradeep Prabhu, what is your thing? Joy, highest form of joy. Don't know. My God. I think Preeti can answer this question. Huh? Yes, Mataji, what is your highest form of joy? Fast, fast, we don't have time. What is the highest form of joy?
I'm not sure, but I think it's when you're very much happy.
When someone?
When you're very much happy or blissful.
When you become very much happy, that is the question, no? Yes, Prabhu.
तो ये तुलसीदास जी का है वो एक सत्संग हरि
तात स्वर्ग.
सत्संगत और हरि कथा तुलसी दुर्लभ दो.
हाँ.
तो इसके जो संगत ऑफ
सत्संग, सत्संग साधु का संग और साधु का दर्शन is the most joyous moment in your life. It is said in Ramcharitmanas itself, तात स्वर्ग अपवर्ग सुख न तुलियाधरी एक अंग. What is that? तुलियाधरी एक रंग सकल मिली जो सुख लव सत्संग. Even if you get everything, you know, तात स्वर्ग अपवर्ग सुख धरिया तुला एक अंग, तुला आपका तुला के एक अंग में डाल दिया, सकल मिली जो, अब सब कुछ मिल गया, सुख लव सत्संग. इट इज ना धरी, इट कैनॉट, मतलब इट कैनॉट लोअर द पैन. न धरी सुख लव सत्संग. मतलब एक लव, लव मीन्स इज लेस देन अ सेकेंड. is less than a second. Time is broken into various love, truti, then various. When I take the time lecture, na, it comes. It is there in Bhagavatam. Don't worry. It is there in Bhagavatam. Every full definition of time is given. हाँ, very well. First I have taken that earlier. Milliseconds तक जाता है, micro milliseconds तक जाता है. So love, truti, then I forgot. Quite a lot of things are there in that. So कहने का मतलब एक लव, इट इज नॉट इवन अ सेकेंड, वो भी सत्संग के लिए आनंद देने वाला चीज है. क्यों? बिकॉज विद सत्संग यू गेट योर पर्पस ऑफ योर लाइफ. ह्यूमन जन्म का जो जन्म लिया है उसका मकसद आपको तभी मालूम पड़ता है, उसके बगैर आपको मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा. व्हाट इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक बिटवीन गुड एंड बैड? That was the next question he asked. So what is the characteristic of good and bad? See, good is one who gives everything of his for the welfare of the others. He is good. But that is from the spiritual angle, not from the material angle. They say, for example, if let's say, someone has a big bungalow and lot of money and then he doesn't have a child. So he donates that money to some blind or some organization. It is definitely good, but he is doing that without having any option. क्योंकि उसके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, इसके लिए वो कर रहा है. So that is not considered to be the best. But for example, Dadichi Muni, when we will go to Naimisharanya, I will take you to that Dadichi Muni's ashram. When Vitrasur had to be killed, Dadichi Muni ka bones were required to make the Vajra. वज्र बनाने के लिए दधीची मुनि का बोन्स वर रिक्वायर्ड. एंड व्हाई? बिकॉज ही यूज्ड टू रीड द नारायण कवच, नारायण कवच every day. N number of times he had read. By reading that, it is there in Bhagavatam, Narayan Kavach. You all can by heart also. जब उस पे आऊँगा, जैसा कुंती स्तुति है उसका भी कराऊँगा मैं. Don't worry. वो very useful. When I was down with Corona, I used to read that only. Very powerful. Narayan Kavach protects you. Every anga ka, Kutna, Uru, hip, back, face, hands, legs, every part of the body is protection is given by various form of Lord Narayan. So we used to read the Narayan Kavach. So Lord Narayan also only tells the Devatas, go and ask for his body, what is his bones. Now which person will give his bones? So he goes and asks. So he says first from maskari hota hai, but then finally he says, okay, I will give you my body. How will you give up? Now he cannot commit suicide. He cannot commit suicide. So what they do is, they apply dahi on his body, curd, and let the cows lick it. Cow's tongue is supposed to have sharp, like needle-like things. It's the most painful death. When the cows keep on licking, his skin, his muscle, everything was licked out. Then only what was left was his bones. Still there, that place is still there. It's very close to Naimisharanya. वहाँ जाने लायक है. तो उस हड्डियों में से विश्वकर्मा ने वज्र बनाया था. And with that वज्र वृत्रासुर was killed. So कहने का भावार्थ क्या है कि a sadhu or one who gives his life for the betterment of others, he is called a good person. And what is a bad person? Who troubles you for nothing. Example given. Kagbhushan ji gives this example. Snake and rat. चूहा आके आपका कपड़ा कुतर के जाता है. उसको कुछ फायदा हुआ? कुछ फायदा होता है उसको? नहीं. But he is damaging your life. Many characters are there. उनका जीवन का सुधार नहीं करेंगे, but दूसरे का जीवन. This is a characteristic of a bad man. अच्छा, सांप के पास जाओ और कुछ कर सकते हैं कि other than biting you, can the snake do any other work to you? It cannot. The example given by Kagbhushan ji is, it is like hail which falls on the crop. The entire crop becomes spoiled, and the next moment hail automatically melts and goes off. मतलब hail को कुछ फायदा हुआ नहीं हुआ. This is the example given in the Shastra, that hailstorm when it comes, आइस के ओले जब गिरते हैं ना, तब पूरा आपका खेती नष्ट कर देगा, मगर hail, that is आइस को कुछ फायदा हुआ? कुछ नहीं हुआ. This is how you have to find out whether he is a bad man or a good man. Suppose I need your power post, at least for that I am doing, it makes sense. It makes sense. But I don't know anything. But I'll trouble you. I will trouble you. I will trouble you. No, at least terrorists have got some agenda. They want to achieve something. But there are many people. That is what Kagbhushan ji says. That these people don't have no agenda. But their only agenda is to trouble you. And the example he is giving is of hailstorm, and he gives an example of rat and snakes. Then after that, then the fifth question. What is the highest merit what we can achieve? What is the highest merit which we can have? The punya. It is said, ahimsa is the biggest merit. Kagbhushan ji says, ahimsa. And ahimsa doesn't mean every time physical assault. It said, a boneless thing called tongue can break big bones. See, पावरफुल आदमी है ना, हट्टा कट्टा पावरफुल आदमी है, और उसको कुछ आपने ऐसा कटु वचन सुना दिया, क्या टूटता है उसका? हड्डियाँ टूटती है, मसल्स टूटता है, दिल टूटता है. You break his heart, you break his mind, his thinking process, everything gets broken. So this is what he says. Ahimsa is the biggest form of merit, पुण्य. पुण्य कमाने का उससे बढ़िया और कोई तरीका नहीं है. And then, what is the greatest form of sin? I'm shocked. Even I myself was shocked when I read before, first time when I read it. It is said that speaking ill about others, दूसरों की निंदा करना, is the worst form of sin. See, for example, if someone does something wrong and if the media projects it, it is not ninda. Please understand the definition of ninda. अहिंसा में भी कई लोग बोले हाँ अहिंसा बोला है, कल आएंगे आतंकवादी आएंगे गोली मारेंगे हम गोली खाएंगे. This is not ahimsa. Please, people just take it on the very face of it. No. Himsa, where it is not required, when they do, that is himsa. When it is not required, no need of doing. That doesn't mean Krishna did not say or Ramchandra ji did not kill Ravan. ऐसा रहता तो रामचंद्र जी रावण को मारना नहीं चाहिए था, नहीं हिंसा ही नहीं करना है मुझे. हिंसा इज जस्टिफाइड एज पर द शास्त्र व्हेन ही इज एन आतताई. एंड आतताई का मैंने रीजंस बताया है. व्हेन समवन बर्न्स अ क्रॉप, व्हेन समवन लिफ्ट्स समवन्स मनी और गिव्स पॉइजन, सो मेनी फैक्टर्स हैव बीन गिवन. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे भी निंदा, निंदा मीन्स when that person is not doing that crime or that activity and still framing him and then talking about him, that is ninda. Ninda means assuming. निंदा नहीं. वो चोरी कर रहा है भाई. That is not ninda. Ninda means what? I don't know whether she is doing or she is not doing, but still I am framing it. That, huh?
You're not 100% sure and still you are saying.
Forget about 100%. I am 100% sure she is not doing, but that is also ninda. 100% ninda. 100% ninda. Unless and until it's a proven fact or it's an open fact. If you are talking of anything which is not actually happening, and if you are doing this, जो नरक दिया है ना इसके लिए, I will come to the 7th question later, that is the disease of the mind. But the narakas mentioned for all this is very, very deadly. Be ready to eat faster. Okay. Those who insult, निंदा जो करते हैं या इंसल्ट करते हैं भगवान हरि को और गुरु को, they are born for 1000 birth as मेंढक. टर मेंढक करने वाला. So whenever you see a मेंढक moving around, you can understand he has done निंदा of God. कई लोग बोलते हैं क्या तुम्हारे भगवान कैसे हैं, ऐसे हैं तुम्हारे भगवान, तो ऐसे हैं नरक में जाएंगे, ये है वो है, रासलीला कर रहे हैं तुम्हारे भगवान क्या एक लंपट की तरह एक औरत के लिए पीछे भाग रहे हैं. Many people have this type of very great philosophy. They think they are great philosophers. Don't worry. Ravan better tha Ram se. Ravan was a better sister, was a better brother than anyone else. All these people, don't worry.
But Prabhuji, that is due to ignorance sometimes.
Even in ignorance, you have no right to. That is, it is ninda. Then it is ninda, right? When I don't know the head and tail of something, how can I speak? How on the very first case I can speak about it? I can say, wait, let me collect the information and then give let's debate and talk. That's why I always say, two doctors talk, it makes sense. Two lawyers talk, it makes sense. But one doctor and one lawyer, both may be expert in their fields, but when they discuss, it is not going to be correct. The doctor बोलेगा नहीं मेरे को मालूम है बीमारी क्या है, lawyer बोलेगा नहीं मैं बहुत केस लड़ा हूँ, मेरे को मालूम है बीमारी क्या है. It is not going to make sense. When two doctors, two lawyers, two chartered accountants, when they speak, it makes sense.
Only one point.
Huh.
Is gossip considered as ninda?
Definitely, gossip is ninda, because in gossip, are you going to glorify someone? In gossip, you are not going to glorify anyone. Gossip means what? That is a great degree of happiness in talking about someone's bad qualities. The highest degree of happiness you get, and then what? In the end, what do you say? Java de na apde su. That's what you say ना. छोड़ ना अपने को क्या करना है. और फिर इतना एक प्रवचन दिया क्यों 1 घंटे का? 1 घंटे का प्रवचन देने के बाद, in the end, what do you say? जाने दो. What is it for me? So, it is concerning you. then you speak. If it is not concerning you, you or your benefits. Like for example, someone may talk about China or Pakistan. Okay, if it is you are talking pro India or pro your country, no problem. Some Tom, Dick and Harry's wife is fighting with someone's husband, and you are commenting, you are giving your comments. Then it's gossip or ninda, because you don't know who is right, who is wrong. Who are you to speak in between? So 1000 births of frog. For blaspheming a Brahmana, जो ब्राह्मण को ब्लास्फेमी करता है, उसके लिए first is hell, and then he is born as a crow, कौवा. ब्राह्मण को जो blasphemy करता है. Those who blaspheme the Vedas, they go to hell. And all this happens because of either too much of pride. मुझे सब आता है. I am an MBA, मने बद्दू आवड़े. That I know everything. That attitude leads to this type of ninda. And then lastly, blaspheming the sages. This is also very, very bad. They are born as bats. जो साधु ऋषि मुनियों का जो निंदा करता है वो चमगादड़ बनता है और बैट बनता है. क्यों? Bats love nights, and night is supposed to be time of illusion, moha. It is not the time of brightness. Whereas they don't like daytime. Daytime they sleep. Whereas daytime is the actual time of awakening. That time they are sleeping. That is why they are born as bats. So all these are the sins mentioned in the punishments mentioned in the Ramcharitmanas, this Samvad. Now coming to the last question, that is the disease of the mind. And here Kagbhushandi says, he lists a few, and in the end he gets frustrated. He says, "Isse kya batau main aage?" First and foremost, illusion is the root cause of the problem in the mind. The biggest problem is illusion. Most of the people know कि भाई शास्त्र सही है, सत्संग करना चाहिए, but then छोड़ना, आज शाम को, today evening let me have some gala time. क्या है, वहाँ जाके gala time नहीं होगा. But people don't understand that is the actual time when you get joy and happiness, because that is the time your heart and your soul is getting happiness. Your physical senses may not get happiness, but your soul gets happiness. Here in the shloka itself, he compares kama, lust. He is compared with vata. There are three things, na? Kapha, pitta, vata in the body. Ayurveda, this person deals with Ayurveda. He says kama is like vata, lobha, greed is like kapha, and krodha, anger is like pitta. इसलिए हमेशा छाती जलते रहते. In anger also you are burning, and this calls sing. And it is said, तीनों में अगर मैत्री हो गई ना, दोस्ती हो गई ना, तीनों बढ़ गया ना, तो there is a disease which is there in सन्निपात नाम का एक बीमारी आता है आपको. सन्निपात, it's a name given in the Sanskrit shloka, not Sanskrit, the Avdi shloka given by Tulsidas ji. Says दांत खाज खुजली, नाम सुना है? हाँ, एडवर्टाइजमेंट में. He says ममता is like दांत. एक्जिमा ना, दांत को एक्जिमा बोलते. ममता is like एक्जिमा. कितना भी ममता कर लो, मिटती है क्या? You know what happens when you are having eczema? You feel like scratching, and first you feel nice, and then blood comes out. After a few hours, वापस you squeezing, and then also blood comes out. This is what happens in mamta also. In your affection, I'm not specifying any affection, but all affections, when you try to pamper that affection, you give that affection, And in the end, what does that affection give you? Only pain. So this is what is called as, mamta is called as dat. Envy, irsha is called as khujli, itching. It's itching. Always, in enviousness you are always busy. मेरी साड़ी से उसकी साड़ी सफ़ेद कैसे? That is also like that. And then, what is it? Ahankar, pride, is like Gatiya Rog. Everything is there in the shloka. It's not that I am adding. I didn't get the thing. It's arthritis, right? Gatiya Rog. That is arthritis. And that is what he is mentioning. Kakbhushan is saying. Ahankar, pride is like Gatiya Rog. Then Dushta and Kutila are like code, leprosy. And in the end, Kakbhushan gets tired. He says, क्या बताऊं, इतनी सारी बीमारियां हैं मन की, ये तो मैंने कुछ बोला है, ऐसे बहुत सारी बीमारियां हैं. And it's a fact. See, and what he has compared, the question asked by Garudaji was, what are the diseases of the mind? He is saying, bodily arthritis, bodily kapha pitta vata, bodily itching, bodily eczema, ये सब, how he has compared with this diseases. And finally what he says? He says, आप दान, पुण्य, कुछ भी कर लो. What are the three ways of doing, getting out of these things? Does anybody know? Three things. Yajna, dana, tapa. Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita also, Yajna, dana, tapa chaiva, natrajayam karyam eva tad, Yajna, dana, tapa chaiva, pavanani mamrishinam. सबसे बुरा व्यक्ति का भी पावन करता है, मतलब he purifies. So what Kakbhushan ji says here is कि भाई your enviousness, and this is what Lord is saying in the Bhagavad Gita also. If you correlate between Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita, nothing different. So please, you read any Vedas, you read anything, घुमा फिरा के it comes to the same. The message is not different. Way of explaining, the way of putting, not only that, here we come to know by which process should we do, by what process should we come out of this problem. And for that, he says very clearly, यज्ञ दान तप, ये सब करने से ये बीमारी से छुटकारा नहीं मिलेगा. तो अब करे क्या? That time he says, राम नाम जपो. राम नाम जपने से ही इस सब बीमारियों से आपका छुटकारा होगा. But star condition applied. Now what is the star condition? राम नाम जपते जपते. It's like, suppose you got some disease and you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor, doctor, give me such a medicine that my disease can be cleared off. So what we have to understand here is, he says taking the holy name, but in what conditions? It's like, suppose one goes to the doctor, he says, doctor, मुझे इलाज चाहिए, give me the medicine. But I am enjoying the disease also very much. I don't want to leave that disease, जो भी बीमारी हो, I don't want to leave that disease, because उस disease में भी कुछ benefits रहते हैं. डिसीज में जैसा खुजली है, कभी तो मजा आता है. सो आई लेट दैट एक्जिमा बी देयर, कंट्रोल में होने दो, होना चाहिए, बट कंट्रोल में होना चाहिए. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. द फर्स्ट थिंग यू हैव टू डू इज, यू विल हैव टू गिव अप योर proclivity or a decision or an inclination for getting relief from these diseases. Then with that focus, if you chant the holy name, अगर भगवान का नाम अब तब जाप करते हो, तब फायदा है. अब बोले नहीं प्रभु जी, वो हफ्ते में मैं 4 दिन नॉनवेज खाऊंगा, 2 दिन दारू पीऊंगा, और ये भी करूंगा, वो भी करूंगा, बट शनि और रविवार में क्लास अटेंड करूंगा, अच्छा लगता है, मन को बहुत अच्छा लगता है. दिस विल नॉट. So you will have to take any one path. So disease, when you go to the doctor, you want a disease, and especially you go to a doctor, you pay higher fees so that you want to uproot the disease from the, no, totally from the body. You don't want any, even a little part of the disease also in your body. But when it comes to these habits like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, matsarya, irsha, so many things are there. So many diseases are there of this mind. And if you want to get out of these diseases, what is the way of getting out of it? That is only by chanting the holy name of the Lord. तो भगवान का नाम लेना चाहिए. तो महामंत्र का जप करो, सीताराम जपो, कुछ भी जपो, जपो. Something has to be chanted. बोलते हैं ना, something is better than nothing, but nothing is better than nonsense. बहुत सारे लोग nonsense करते हैं. In the name of devotion, they do nonsense. Let's not do nonsense. Let's do devotion, which is more to be on the focused way. And this is the same thing what Lord is also telling in the Bhagavad Gita. कि भाई काम क्रोध लोभ आपको रजगुण के साथ महाअष्टों महापापमा है, इंद्रियानी मनोबुद्धि पे बैठा है. And today I have discussed at large the entire diseases of the mind and how they are. How you have a physical body में diseases होता है, वैसे ही mind में ये सब बीमारियां आ जाती है. और एक अस्वस्थ मन जो है वो कैसे खुश रह सकता है? With a diseased mind, with a diseased body, can you be happy? Your blood pressure is high, your blood sugar is high, your pains are very, joint pains are very high, and you want to go to the party to dance. Can you go and dance? You can't. Can you be happy? No. You got breathing problem. How are you? I'm fine, fine. You can't enjoy. So let's, if you want to have this body in the right platform, then only you can enjoy. Similarly, you have to bring the mind in the right platform to be happy, and mind can be brought to happiness only and only through chanting the holy name. Yajna dan tapa karo. It has not been said don't do it. Do it, but it has to be done under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. 2, it has to be done as an auxiliary. It is like you go to the doctor gives you a prescription, some medicines, and then he says some do's and don'ts. You can't tell the doctor, I'm eating your medicines, इतना फीस दिया है, मैं तो दवाई खा रहा हूँ, अभी तो मैं आइसक्रीम भी खाऊंगा. It's like if someone wants to chant and doesn't want to become all right, it's like many people have this focus also. Like someone is having liver cirrhosis. So for him, 2 things are to be taken into consideration. One is he should not put stress on the liver. Definitely alcohol is not to be taken. Secondly, he has to take some medication. Now when he takes the medication and he is taking, he is doing the abstaining from those things, definitely he will become all right. But what if he becomes all right to do the same thing again? That is also disastrous. Let's not change to become a monkey back again. Prabhupada always gives the story of Puna Mushika Bhava. Once there was a rat. The rat went and cried to a sage, I'm always in tension. क्या हो गया? मुझे बिल्ली है ना, बिल्ली हमेशा मुझे काटने को दौड़ती, भागना पड़ता. अच्छा ठीक है, तो क्या करूँ? मुझे बिल्ली बना दो ना, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. अच्छा भगवान ओके जा बिल्ली बन जा. मतलब भगवान क्या अपना साधु ने बोला ठीक है बिल्ली बन जा. बिल्ली बन के घूमने लगा. थोड़े दिन के बाद उसी साधु के पास है, प्लीज़ आई मीन बहुत टेंशन. बोला क्या हो गया? अभी तो बिल्ली हो गया, अभी तेरे को प्रॉब्लम नहीं क्या कुत्ता काट रहा है मुझे, कुत्ता मेरे पीछे आ रहा है, प्लीज़ मेक मी ए डॉग. डॉग बना दिया. अच्छा FT डॉग बना दिया, थैंक यू बोल के गया. थोड़े दिन में वापस घुमा, वापस आया. व्हाट इज़ द प्रॉब्लम? शेर मेरे पीछे लगा हुआ. आप मुझे ना शेर बना दो, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. ठीक जा शेर. जैसे शेर बना, साधु को देखा, वाओ नाइस, आई कैन हैव अ नाइस मील ऑफ दिस साधु. साधु देखा, ओह यू वांट टू ईट मी, पुनर्मुषिक भवा. ही सेड वापस चूहा बन जा. So that should not be the propensity, that we change for higher level of sense gratification or subtle form of sense gratification. That should not be the focus. Our focus should be very much clear on getting rid of our bad habits, And the best part of this disease is you yourself are your doctor. You yourself have to put the rails and you have to control yourself. Nobody can externally tell you. इसमें कोई आप एक्सटर्नली बोल नहीं सकते प्रभु जी आपको दिन में एक ही बार घूमने जाना चाहिए या एक ही करना चाहिए, माता जी आपको एक ही 4 कपड़ा ही रखना चाहिए, 6 कपड़ा नहीं रखना चाहिए. This cannot be done externally. This you have to use your intelligence and do it justifiably. Yes, grahasthas are different to brahmacharis. Grahastha lifestyle is different, grahastha's requirements are different. The focus of life in grahastha is totally different. But as I explained yesterday, गृहस्थ में होते हुए आप भक्त अच्छा बन सकते हो. बड़े बड़े आचार्य गृहस्थ से बने हैं. सो डोंट थिंक हाँ प्रभु जी हम तो गृहस्थ हैं. एंड यू नो जनरली एक ये है अरे ये तो गृहस्थ है. डोंट थिंक दैट गृहस्थ कैन नॉट बिकम गुड डिवोटीज. यू कैन बिकम very good devotees. Okay, Hare Krishna. With this, we like to close today's class. Any doubts, questions you have, can ask. Gauri, anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask.